Hello, I am so happy to be speaking with you, Tom. And this is a historical day because I'm getting to talk to perhaps the most advanced in age person who has donated a kidney to a stranger. Am I right about that?
That's what I'm told. Yep, it's me. Yep,
And so, just if you could introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your kidney donation journey, that would be great.
I'd love to. I'd love to. It's a spiritual journey. Uh, Name is Tom Duncan. I'm 74 years old. I live in a little town outside of Austin, Texas. And this story actually started in Salt Lake City. A friend of 20 years uh, had gone into dialysis, and my wife and I, had lived in Salt Lake City for 21 years, and uh, I knew nothing about dialysis. My wife's a nurse. We had no friends that had ever been in dialysis. Well, anyhow, my friend Ernie took me on the journey with him, and it was just unbelievable. As far as I can't spare words here. The horrors of dialysis. You say, well, wait, it's dialysis or death, easy decision. Yes, that's the easy part, but the process is extreme. Came to the point where he needed a kidney, and there were actually about 14 of us that came forward. Very unusual. Most of those didn't pass the initial uh, medical history. So I was the last person that was approved. Fortunately, someone else came forward. Blood type B, which was the same as Ernie's, and this person donated a kidney. Well, the people at the transplant team in Austin, Texas, uh, called me and said, "Your recipient has a kidney. Thank you so much for coming forward. We appreciate all you've done." I said, "Well, I haven't done anything," and that was the way the conversation ended. And I said, "Wait a minute here. Let me think this over a little bit." So what I did, Elaine, I stepped back and said, "Well, why did I do this in the first place?" And it was to end someone's suffering. The suffering that was one on one as he was going through the dialysis of about 17 or 18 months. So I called and said, "No, no, I'm going to go ahead with this." And they were quite pleased. And here's really what happened. And whenever you make a decision, especially a big decision, I was it was more than 51%, maybe it was 70% positive. But there's always that area you're wondering, am I doing the right thing? And this was the this was not coincidence. A friend, well, actually, one is just a person I knew, an acquaintance, uh, called and said, "Hey, I heard something really interesting, really great." I said, "What's that?" He said, "Let me see if I get this right." He said, "We all can't do great things, but we can do small things with great love."
Oh, that's lovely.
Mother Teresa, I found came to find out that's I'm 100%. I mean, at that point, this is because this is just an act of love, and I had people say, "Well, you don't even know the person's." No, no. They went, "Really?" I said, "No." And the transplant team, there's about 10 disciplines: the cardiac, pulmonology, social work, and on and on, surgeon, recipient surgeon. They just surrounded me. I mean, uh, there was really, I don't want to sound brave or anything, but there was really no fear or trepidation on this thing. And uh, that's so it was December 6th was the surgery. I just been rolled into the room after surgery from the recovery room, and it'll happen again. Uh, I said, how, the first thing I said was, how's the recipient? They said, oh, he's great. The kidney started to function while I was still on the table while they were sewing him up. And I just started crying. I couldn't stop crying. This is what, this is, I think, I have a message, and I think here's the message, Elaine. Had people come up to me and say, "Oh man, ooh, boy, it's really bad on the donor. Much worse. Oh, much worse than on the recipient." I had 3 people, and these are pretty well educated people that said this. 4 days I was off of 4 days post-op, I was off of painkillers. The morning of the 11th day, I was off of Tylenol. The morning of the 12th day, I was walking 2.5 miles. I mean, that's if I had a job in 2 weeks, I could have gone back to work. I mean, easily. So it was that's been the journey. And uh people ask now, I still get a few people say, when's the surgery scheduled? Supposedly about 2 months ago. Yeah. So it's but the thing that I'm really wound up about this is, okay, I watched this YouTube that I mentioned, Ned Brooks, and
Yep.
I almost fell out of my chair when he quoted how many non-directed donations are done in the United States. Yeah. 186. I mean, 186. Right. So anyhow, I guess if I have a story that I'd like to tell, is simply that if you're in good health, and they'll let you know if you are. I mean, it was the whole thing, Elaine, was this. The team went to extremes to protect me. So it wasn't like I'm sacrificing my health, mobility, activity level to help someone. That they wouldn't have let that happen. I believe that totally. So that was my journey. And so people say, how you doing now? I can't tell the difference between 2 kidneys and 1 kidney. I was never much of a water drinker. I drink 64 ounces of water. And of course, as you know, it's very, very anonymous, the donor recipient. And I'd left a note, or given a note to the coordinator, who passed it on to the recipient. Anyhow, I got the phone call.
Oh my goodness.
I got and is just a beautiful Hispanic family, and their culture. Everyone comes. This was a big thing. They were going to meet me, and my wife and I, and the son, who's probably the recipient's 70 years old, and the son was probably 45, 46, 47. It's in the construction business. He said, of course, they couldn't stop saying thank you. And the son said, I'm in the construction business. I'd like to remodel your house. I said, no, man. That's cool.
Isn't it sweet? That's so sweet.
They said, can we cook for you? I said, absolutely. And so I'm not talking about cooking. I'm talking about a feast. So we said, yeah, we let's plan on that in March. Okay, where am I right now? And there's just this quiet joy, about, I'm so grateful that I had this opportunity. That sounds weird. No, I mean, they should be thanking me, but I'm thanking them. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Absolutely. And so anyone that's associated goes, right on, dude, right on. So, and I'm very uncomfortable when people say, "Oh, you're a wonderful person." I said, "Well, you don't know me very well." I think that's why. But I'm just a guy. I'm the one that's grateful, and that makes no sense. And you understand it. A donor would understand it. Most people say, "No, it's backwards." No, it's not. So anyhow, so that's me. That's kind of the thumbnail.